Well, R. Kelly's still in prison. Or still in jail, I guess, awaiting his trial.
I heard something happened to him recently in jail, huh?
He got stabbed.
Damn.
He got beat up and stabbed by someone who had a "fuck the feds" tattoo on his face. And apparently, according from what I heard, there are these like little mini protests that are happening in front of the courthouse, like the Free R. Kelly fans, like like a bunch of like, black female R. Kelly fans are like protesting in front of the jail, talk about like R. Kelly should be free, which in turn, I guess was causing a lockdown in the jails. Uh-huh. So the other inmates were basically mad at R. Kelly for that shit, even though technically he had nothing to do with it.
And that's why the guy stabbed him, supposedly?
That's why he got stabbed.
Fucking up their program, yeah. I mean, shit. But it's not necessarily his fault unless he's, writing out to the street and telling people to do that shit, but he don't have no control over that. How can you control what somebody doing outside? Like,
explain to me what a lockdown is.
A lockdown is usually, the administration will come up with a reason that, to keep you guys in a cell, no program. They might feed you in the cell, no commissary. And they just pretty much have you locked away. Like, it could be however long they feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been on lockdowns for a year, Vlad. Like, no movement. Like, coming out, like, you think I'm light-skinned now, like, super light. Dark dudes coming out light as a motherfucker. Like, when they killed Tookie, when they executed Tookie, they locked all of us down, like, for quite a while, yeah.
You were in the same prison? Were they
No, it don't, nope. I think what they was thinking were, we were in the same state, so I think what they were thinking that inmates was gonna retaliate as a result, of them killing him.
Was there any level of retaliation or?
Nah, like, sadly, Tookie gets a lot of props for being like an original, member of the Crips or whatever, but a lot of people don't care. You know what I mean? Like the younger generations don't respect it in that way. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Well, I mean, imagine R. Kelly right now. Like a year or so ago, he was this super accomplished R&B superstar. He's still doing shows around the country. Women are still like, pawing at him on stage. He's got money. Right. He's got girls at his house. He's eating at every restaurant that he wants to eat at. He's flying around in jets. And now he's getting stabbed with a pen.
It could be karma, man. It could be karma. I mean, like, if those girls are true about a lot of the things that they said or claimed that he did, it could just be, could be his payback. Never know. I know if one of them was my sister, like, I would probably try to stab him too, you know what I mean? Like, so, I don't know. It could just be his karma coming back.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when that tape was circulating, like the whole peeing tape. When it was circulating and all the swap meets and everything, like you could get that shit off the corner.
Absolutely.
You watch that tape and you're like, okay, that's R. Kelly. He got off on that first trial by paying off the witnesses.
Mm.
In fact, the girl who he peed on recently filed for bankruptcy.
Wow.
Think about that.
She was 14 at the time?
At the time, now she's an adult. But what you could surmise from that is that he had been paying her off all these years. And then now that he's in jail and his money is stopped, he can't keep paying her, so she basically had to just file for bankruptcy. She was living off R. Kelly this whole time. And I remember I interviewed Lisa Van Allen, who was one of R. Kelly's girlfriends, around that same time. And she broke down that whole story. Like, her family, like that girl basically said in a statement that that's not her. That's not her in the tape, right? And her dad had to say the same thing. And he had to watch that tape. And from what I understand, he was crying and whatever, but he had to say that it wasn't his daughter, and he had gotten paid. He had showed up on R. Kelly's like next couple albums as like a bass player or something.
What the?
And during the trial, get this, during the trial, that girl and her whole family were on an overseas cruise.
Wow.
So they got rid of any chance of them trying to subpoena
Mm-hmm.
that family and put them on the stand during that trial. So they're like, okay, they're out of the country on a boat. and he really played that whole situation. I was, remember how surprised we all were when he was not guilty?
Right, absolutely.
I said,
yeah.
come on, man. Like, y'all seen this tape. Like,
Then he came back and made a song. I think him and Jay-Z had that one.
Oh, yeah, not
they
guilty.
had that one album, yeah. Like, damn. That's sad, bro. Like, damn. I didn't want to believe that about him, man. Like, it's hard. I think it's hard to accept when it's somebody you look up to. You know what I'm saying? Like we loved his music, you know what I mean? And we just didn't want to see him in that light. But that's so fucked up. That's fucked up, man.